Thanks for watching Dairy Farm Kind of Life. I'm Lauren. Please join my family and I as we learn alongside you in all things dairy farming and strive to bridge the gap from farm to table. I hope you enjoy the episode.
So this afternoon I got a few jobs that I'm going to show you guys. Clean up a few calf hutches, some super hutches, and get a few big calves out of the single hutches into that super hutch. So I'll show you how I do that.
We realized that Eddie forgot to pressure wash the feed troughs and the water trough for the super hutches, so we went to do that, but the pressure washer we think was frozen because it's so cold outside, so now I'm just giving them a quick wash in the milk house and then we'll continue setting up. So every now and then we do something called Bless the House, where we just kind of spend the day focusing on picking things up and cleaning things that have been left behind. We're not going to do homeschool, we're just going to focus on cleaning up. And I think it's important to include the kids so that they learn how to take care of our things. So I think it can actually be just as valuable as homeschooling. Yeah, we're not in the math books doing math, but they're learning life lessons of how to clean up after themselves and take care of their things. I'll show you a bit of what that's going to look like. So I've heard that when they first came out with washing machines, they actually had to brainstorm what women were going to do with all the extra time they had. So I would say our blessing of the house went fairly well. We mostly just did upstairs. Usually I try to do it on Saturdays, but this weekend we did not have time for that, so we just kind of had to take control. But Eddie took them out now to the shop to look for something, and I'm going to go join them and feed calves. It is just a beautiful winter day outside today. Man, I wish we got out sooner, but too busy cleaning. I hear the kids over at the barn. Gonna go see what they're up to. Eddie wanted me to get a video of the nice clean calf yard, so I'm gonna do, slipped. Gonna do that. Show you guys how clean it is. Eddie said he just fell on his butt yesterday. In that same spot I slipped. He saw that happen. Anyway, I hear the kids. They're up in the shipping containers that Eddie got to store chopped straw and some, I think they're for chopped straw and high moisture corn feed. I'm not exactly sure, but he's working on getting them all set up so that we can actually put stuff in them. And I can hear the kids, they're playing in them. They brought their scooters in, I guess. I'm gonna go show you guys that. Okay, so I'm coming in from behind here. Cleaned up, there's a super hutch right in that spot there. Cleaned it up nicely. There's one where we just put calves in. These guys are nice, hungry, ready for their evening meal. And he cleaned up where those ones were. Now they're happily settled over here. Hey ladies, hey girlies, do you like your new home? Do you like your new house? Yeah? That's good. So I'm going to try to show you today my process for feeding calves. We don't have very many right now. We just have 3 on milk. Yeah, 3 on milk. So I thought it would be a good time to show you since it's pretty fast. So first what I do is I check my board over here. This is my board. So we have any calves that are out in the yard here on the board. 19, 20, and 21 are not on milk anymore. 19 and 20 are the ones in the super hutch. And then 22, 23, and 24 are on milk. Shows what day they were born, so how many weeks old they are, how many liters of milk they get, and that's how tight or loose the nipple should be, which just means the flow of the milk going through the bottle, if it should be fast or slow. So for older calves, it should be slower, and for younger calves, it should be faster to help them drink it. So now, when calves are new, we keep the milk from the mum in the fridge. So I don't think we have any, we don't have any in the fridge. So I don't need to do that. I'll just make it all with milk replacers. So first I'm gonna start with feeding grain to the older calves. Then I'll do milk in bottles. And then I'll do water, or I'll kind of do water while the calves are drinking milk. So I'll show you how I do that. So I fed the grain, now I have to give it a tally for what I used, because we keep track of how much we feed the calves for our own purposes, and because we raise some of Eddie's brother's heifers that are on the same feed, so we need to keep track of what we're using and what his animals are using. And then I also look up here, so I have 4, 8, 12 liters of milk to mix up. So then I go over to my conversion chart, 12 liters. So I need 1.8 kilograms of milk replacer, so I'll measure that out. Scale, so it shows you, oh, I'm at 1.805, but that's okay, it's close enough. Give that extra little bit to the dog. She'll like it.
He signed a contract with the team over the winter. For CKNX Sports, I'm Adam Bell.
Physical injury only tells half the story. Hi, I'm John from Canning Law. It's one thing to understand a physical injury, but it's quite another thing to understand what some call invisible disability.
So I filled up these bottles. Now I'll show you what I mean by tight and loose and medium nipples. So this here, that's a loose one, so the milk would flow really quickly through that. And this is a tighter one, so there's not quite as, I think that's about as tight as we have. And then in between would be something like this. So I'm just gonna go put those on the bottles. So all of the calves we have on milk here right now are trained on the, oh, hang on. They're trained on the bottle holder. So they just kind of, you put the bottle in and they quick go and start sucking on the bottle and drinking their milk. But when they're first newborn, you definitely have to train them how to find the bottle. And I'll show that in another video. Now all I have left to do is clean up the bottles. And I just wanted to mention that while we do feed the calves, we're looking at their manure, so looking to see if their manure looks healthy, so hopefully solid, and the general health of the calf. Are their ears perky? Do they seem like they're in a good mood, or do they seem maybe depressed? Also looking at them can show you signs of pneumonia, or if they're coughing, they'll exhibit signs of pneumonia. So we're also always looking for that when we're feeding calves. like anything, there's many different ways that you can feed calves, and I mean that was very small scale. There were just 3 of them, but if you had a lot of calves, like I used to work at a place with I think 340 calves, and so we use, like, to mix the milk, you use like a massive blender on wheels, and then you cart it around, and there's like a nozzle, like how you would fuel up your car to fill buckets or bottles. Or I know Eddie's aunt and uncle have a robotic milk feeder for their calves, so the calves are in individual stalls, and then the robot goes from stall to stall to feed the calves, and maybe we can go visit there sometime and I can show you guys that. But yeah, so there's many different ways to do it. This is just the way we do it. This is the way we think is the fastest, the easiest, and the best for our farm. It's just like how there's different theories on parenting or how to get your baby to sleep. Like, there's all kinds of different ways to do it, and this is just the way that we have chosen. So I'm finished with the calves, and the kids are nicely playing in the office. Tomorrow is our pro action, which is like a kind of like a farm audit. So I'm just gonna go around and make sure that we have all the signs up that we need to. You need to have signs like this to show where your feed is, and you need to say whether it's medicated or not. So this is just our little feed room. There's the dog. Okay, so we've got calf pellets over there. There's Eddie raking stalls. I'll show you. Hi puppy, hi puppy, hi puppy. Hey, back up, back up. Who's the cute? Oh, I should really brush her. Okay, there's Eddie. Hard at work. And here's our chocolate milk cow. Her name's Reese's. She's our favorite cow. You girly? She doesn't want a pet. Every farm needs a chocolate milk cow. Right, Eddie?
What's that?
Every farm needs a chocolate milk cow.
Yes. We have one.
We've got one. It's enough chocolate milk for us. So it was about 6 o'clock when I was doing this. I got totally distracted from going inside, and I'm probably going to make any dog groomers out there cringe, but this is how I brush her, and she had so many burrs around her neck. It was wild. Didn't even get close to done. She doesn't let me get under her belly, like close to her back legs. I don't know if she loves it or hates it, but this is what I do, and I'm hoping that come the spring when she sheds, she'll just shed off all the mud clumps too.